Did I say that
IWGP.
right? IWGP. Damn it! I knew I was going to screw that up.
Either way,
Close.
So either way, we're united in that fact.
I've got a tie.
You got
for two. I've got two matches that actually made me feel. It actually made me feel things while watching them. Okay, first one. Okay, you guys talk about Omega Okada. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go different. Okay, it's still an Omega match, but Omega Jericho, the first one, made just
Again,
that.
number two.
That just made me feel something, because just how brutal that match was, and Chris Jericho said it. It's like, I'm not out here for star ratings. Okay, it's still got 5 stars from Meltzer, but I'm not out here for star ratings. I know I can't go like Okada. Okay, but I can still get this guy over the way that I do in WWE. I can bring my character to a more hardcore, extreme level and still be able to do it on foreign shores. I can still do it. He proved he could still do it. And
There wasn't any doubt in my mind, though.
and yeah, but it just made me feel something.
You are absolutely right.
And NXT TakeOver, I forget which one it was. Okay, and I believe it was a last man standing match. It was either last man standing or no holds barred, but Gargano Ciampa for the title.
Why do I feel like they did I feel like these two have done pretty much everything you could do at this point.
Which one? Which takeover? Yeah. And hell, what was the? I don't even remember the match
I
stipulation.
believe it was last man standing.
They were feud for me. Yet I'm blanking out on this one.
Like, you could pick any match from Gargano versus Ciampa, and it's a match of the year candidate.
Yeah.
Okay, but the one I'm talking about was actually for the title. Like, there was a...
Look this up. Keep going.
And I really believe it was a last man standing match, because I think Gargano's leg gave out, and Ciampa's just kind of kneeling down, looking at him as the ref counts to 10. But either way, anytime these guys get together in a match, first of all, you know it's going to be the best match on the card, and you can pencil it in for at least consideration for match of the year. But you brought his wife in at the time, okay? And Johnny Gargano, when he's a face,
It was Takeover Brooklyn 4, and it was a last man standing match for the belt.
yeah, and the match was great, and it's like, you thought Gargano was going to do it. You thought it was his last chance to do it, because I thought, and a lot of people thought, that if Gargano lost, he was going up. If Gargano won, he was going to be champion, and Ciampa was coming up. Neither happened. But
To be fair, yeah, I don't think either of them
the entire
needed to go up.
just the entire 30 minutes that match was on, you were on the edge of your seat. And those were the only two matches that actually made me, like, there were others where it's like, oh, okay, this is good, this is awesome. And then those two were, I am on the edge of my seat, I'm standing up, I'm cheering, and I'm actually into it. And it's been a long time since I've actually been into it. And those two matches are what did it for me this year.
All right. Now we go from the top of the heap to the absolute bottom. This is worst match of the year. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. Every single match these two have
just
had,
in general?
Yeah, single time these two have got together for a match, it's always been disappointing, and I just don't. Well, if it's under better circumstances, then maybe I'll see something. But outside of that, this was just disappointing.
You're getting him at Rumble.
Yeah, hopefully in an actual match this time. So I know these guys have it in them, but this year just was not their year as a cohesive unit.
Well, the guys don't like each other, don't they not like each other? So they just don't.
I don't know. I don't really care. Just put on a good match. Be professionals, please.
Well, we know that Brock Lesnar has a problem with that, so. but I'm not gonna go worst match in the way that you think. I'm gonna go the match that disappointed me the most, and it was the one that lost me said championship to Scholly. Carmella versus Asuka. James Ellsworth returns in the Asuka mask. Are you shitting me?
It's another reason to hate Carmella.
Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel is the worst match of the year, obviously, easily, no doubt. But I expected that. Okay, I did. It's I knew that Carmella. We all know that Carmella is not the greatest wrestler.
You don't say.
Being partial. Okay, being impartial. She's not the greatest. Okay, but I thought at the time if anybody could pull something out of her, it would have been Asuka. And I was proven wrong.
You
and in the process, they bought back our very good buddy, Ratface himself, James Ellsworth.
Ratface?
Fuck off.
Anyway,
that was my fuck off moment of the year.
Mine is also a tie. I have two matches that were just really disappointing, and funny enough, Braun's in one of them, and it's something I mentioned earlier. Braun Strowman and Nicholas versus The Bar for the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania 34. That's all that needs to be said. Most people have fun with it. I just could not, especially when I have the love of my life Cesaro part of the losing part of it.
Fair enough.
And my second one is something he didn't want at all. Something that was talked about between me and him hardcore on this show. DX versus the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel.
You know what? I'm going to change my vote to that.
But
that was just insulting.
I will give it the caveat.
I won't.
Okay, that quarter of the way through the match, Triple H tore his pec. So that's why I didn't have it in consideration, because of extenuating circumstances. Would it have been the best thing ever? It never would have been the best thing ever. But
at least Shawn Michaels has the brain to realize, yeah, I think we're too old for this shit now.
Yeah.
Like, he had the common sense, but yeah, it's that Saudi Arabia money that got him out of retirement for one match, and thank God it's just one match. I was basically pulling optimism from him. I was thinking maybe nope. Yeah. And at least they know they can't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was sad to see.
Yeah, that was
I love all four of those guys.
Yeah.
So it's just seeing them being Danny Glover, just going, ugh, too old for this shit.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't have it in the running was because I knew that Triple H tore his pec. So I knew that the last 15 minutes of that match was bullshit either way. Mm. So it's like I didn't put it in contention because I didn't. So it was because if Triple H didn't tear his pec, would it have been great? No. Would it have been worst match of the year? No.
Well, it did. It did for me, and it is for me. At least it tied.
Well, how about a good little palate cleanser right here? Let's talk about pay-per-view of the year. Now, I believe it's your turn.
Is it?
Is it?
Let's see. Who did? Let's see. Worst.
You did worst match of the year.
Did you start the worst?
I
match?
did. Yes.
Yes.
So
okay. So
you got pay-per-view of the year.
No, hold on. 3, 6, 8. No, it's me.
Oh, your pay-per-view? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, your pay-per-view. What do you got?
Oh yeah, you did start with the Brock Lesnar Strowman thing. Okay. Okay. So yeah, he's right.
And
I would say All In, but I can't because I didn't watch it. I caught highlights.
Okay.
Fair.
But I'll go with something that a lot of people talk shit about leading up to it, and it actually blew me away when thinking about it. And I'm gonna go with Evolution. Evolution. Because you expect greatness from things like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, which were a couple of my honorable mentions. But this was a test pay-per-view. This was to see if it could actually be done and if it could actually be feasible moving forward. And I think that the ladies did an excellent job of making it so that this pay-per-view is the reason that the women are getting main events on pay-per-views right now. And that's all I need to know. They did well enough on their own pay-per-view that was all women. No men were involved at all. That it gave the WWE confidence that they could lead a pay-per-view main event. And that's good enough for me.
Can't argue that. And most people weren't really looking forward going into it because there was little to no build for the show. But it just proved everyone wrong, and it is a good choice. I actually didn't even think about that for pay-per-view of the year. But unlike what you said earlier, I did watch All In, and I'm going to go with All In as my pay-per-view of the year. It was a very, very, very good show. It was but slow start, which led to something great. And there really isn't more to say. It just, I'm now really looking forward to this All Elite Pro Wrestling because of All In.
Oh yeah, I gotta go with even though Evolution is absolutely up there, is absolutely a legitimate contender, no matter how you slice it for show of the year. I've got to go with All In above that, for not just for all the reasons you listed, but also because of what it means for the overall health and future of professional wrestling in general. Just to have more places where you can compete and be a star at a high level, it's a perfect place for generating new and exciting things in professional wrestling and new stars. Sure, a lot of them will probably go to WWE at some point, but it also creates a setting where if you don't want to go to WWE, that is now a viable option for you.
It's another case of a test. This pay-per-view was another test, and it passed with flying colors. If they fucked up even one thing on this pay-per-view, then it would have been written off. But from what I hear and what I understand, the show was almost perfect.
I'm just from this event and just the going forward of All Elite. I have I don't know how you guys would feel about this, but in my gut, I feel like once